My name is Marie and I'm the Tourism Coordinator with Council, and I'm very excited today to be here with Bill Brown, who is a volunteer at the Visitor Centre, who today we are recognising having served at the Visitor Centre for 25 years. That's a huge milestone. Over 10,000 hours of service has Bill given to the service of our visitors in our community. Bill, you and I have been together at the Visitor Centre for over 13 years, but casting your mind back to when you first started 25 years ago, it must have been a very different place.
It was a very different place. First I walked through the doors with a little bit of trepidation because I'd only been in Shepparton approximately about 20 years or something like that. I can't quite remember now. But I suddenly realised I was going to actually tell people what was about Shepparton, and I knew Shepparton, where my supermarket was, where my pub was, where my interests were, and I knew very little about the rest of it. So that was the start point. Fortunately, I didn't get too many serious questions while I was finding my way, because most people came to Shepparton in those days to go to the SPC or Admona sales points. And after a while that used to annoy me somewhat, because they came and didn't want to hear if you did have something good to tell them. They just were sort of dropped into town, loaded up, and away they went again. So that was my introduction. Nicole was my first boss, and she was always busy out talking to the accommodation people or whatever, and doing her role. And the centre itself was run by one volunteer in the morning and one volunteer in the afternoon. I started an afternoon shift on Thursday, and you used to do the lock-up, and you might not see Nicole all day. You'd sometimes open up and close off. It was really very isolated sort of a unit. From the viewpoint of council, the council, I believe, didn't even really know we existed. I think we were just a little pimple stuck out in the end of a branch. They did, once a year, would come down and have a morning tea with you for 15 minutes and say how well the whole thing was going, and disappear again. So very, very small beginnings. But over that period of time, I have to mention this, was I think last year, not this year, just finished last year, that I came to you with a little 52 places book and said to you, for the first time I was able to go through that and realised that we were now truly a tourist destination, because there's so much that we've been developed by private enterprise, by initiatives from council, by personnel involved that have put it to where it is today.
And you yourself, Bill, have been quite instrumental in one of the great attractions we now have in Greater Shepparton, very heavily involved with the Australian Botanic Gardens. So yet another volunteering role. You know, we realise that we're very lucky to have you, because it is just one of the many things, and as we find with all our volunteers, we've got their fingers in so many pies. But the great thing is that they know a lot about our community, and that's what our visitors love to know, is meet a local and find out about what really makes this community tick. So
that was one, and that aspect, of course, that started from 2000, and we finally, I think 2010, finally got a site, and away we went and go from there. So I'm very proud of that. And the other thing is that that also led me into tourist buses, and that was just by accident, when a coach captain came in one day and said, anybody here that could take my coach around town and tell us what's there? And Kevin Burke, I think, might have been the boss poppy at that time. He said, what about you, Brownie? And I don't know if I can do that, but I got on it, and there was an instant, I was born for that. I was born for it. Just instantly clicked in, and from that I then did a lot of work into learning where all the good spots were, and like where we were today.
That's right. Bill had been instrumental in developing a very sort of short, sharp, sweet 1-hour tour itinerary around Shepparton, which I think is still used by our tour guides today, that pretty much follow that same route, and a lot of the same anecdotes and commentary that you had used. And that indicates some of the mentoring aspects that you've brought to your volunteering role as well, with the great experience, but your background yourself in training from your career days as well has certainly been appreciated by the staff and volunteers at the Visitor Centre. Yeah. I'd love to know from you as well, have you seen much change in the types of visitors that you've seen coming through the Visitor Centre?
Yeah, well, I've touched on that, and the fact that most of those the people came in with their boots so that you could. I have to anecdote it. I always do that, but you have to go back and I've always been interested in people and what makes people tick, and I just visualised Thursday morning was the day. You'd go in, nothing had happened. In 10:30, there'd just be a steady little stream of people. So they'd had breakfast, a nice sunny day. What do we do today? It's only a 2-hour drive to Shepparton. Let's go up and recoup our petrol costs and pick up some fruit and things like that. So, but the rage today is first, it's across the world. Didn't see much of it across the rest of the world in the younger days, and we didn't have the backpackers even coming in to pick the fruit those days. So that's part of it. And the people that come in now, a lot of them have already done some Googling and know a fair bit about what's going on, and that's reduced our physical numbers, even though we know we keep track of them through the Googling side of things. I don't have any specific saying that's age 45 to 50 or anything like that, but and they're more, maybe I got better at it, they're more inclined to spend time and listen to you, where they used to dash in, grab a couple of pamphlets and dash out again. There's more time, people seem to have more time to do that, and I think that's because so many of them are now grey landlords that do have time. They just meander around the country.
Certainly a growing area of the industry is the retirees, the backpackers, as you said, as well, that come and help us. Meeting people from all over the world must be a very fulfilling part of the role. I remember one day you came out to me, I'm busy with my head down and working, I go, I've got some Scottish people out here, Marie, I thought you might like to meet them, given that I'd lived in Scotland for 3 years.
And missed some last week.
And that was, always making those connections and showing an interest in our visitors has certainly added to the great service.
And the same with the Tasmanians. I always ask them, where do you from? They're from Hobart. I always take a step back and say, well, understand I came from the other area, and then I tell them how I was conceived at Turner's Beach. And Mother didn't want to pay the extra fare, so she got me over here pretty quickly. But that forms a connection, it always works.
Thank you so much, Bill, for 25 years on behalf of Council and the community. You've delivered a fantastic service to visitors, who I'm sure are all the richer for the time that they've spent in Shepparton and seen some things and learned some things about our wonderful destination and our wonderful community, thanks to you and what you've been able to give them. So thank you very much.
You only missed one point. Didn't ask me to stay another 25.
Yes, that's right. Yes, you'll do that. That's just a given.